Hey Legion folks, so we have all been there. You're a religious guard player, but a new Seppi unit comes out and you just have to paint it. Or you're a dirty rebel / terrorist, but man, that Inferno Squad expansion is just hot. Or even if you're an equal opportunity faction person, we've all opened up and assembled a unit box. And there's just that one model that we're just a little more willing to put the time into, becomes our flagship model for our little project. Your stress levels go up, your acceptance of mistakes goes down, and you find that while you are okay with churning out the other models, this particular one just has to be perfect. I get you folks, sometimes a particular sculpt just jumps out at us. So today I'm running down my personal favorite sculpts currently available in Star Wars Legion. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lazy Legion Sunday here on Dice Commando. So let's just get this out of the way up front. I am absolutely guilty of buying units because I want to paint them, knowing that I may not even get around to using them in-game. It's not really economical, but it is what it is. My name is Andrew, and I have a problem. Today, I wanted to have a little fun and run down my top 10 favorite sculpts in all of official Star Wars Legion. Now, it should be noted that this is the completely, absolutely definitive list, and that no other list can possibly be as correct as this one. These are definitely the right answers. So obviously I'm joking. Please let me know in the comments as we go through this what your favorite sculpts are. Are you like me and you tend to like the pseudo-tactic poses, or do you like the more fully static, or maybe you're the guy who likes the full-on runners? Because yeah, everyone can make solid shots while on foot diving through the bushes. Either way, the best part about minis games is, let's be honest, playing with our army men's. So let's get to it and go through my top 10 favorite sculpts for Star Wars Legion. Coming in at number 10 is the Phase 2 Rifleman unit. Now you may be looking at this guy and saying, well, there's nothing super special about this. Most units have a guy in some sort of pose such as this. And yeah, I agree. I think that's actually why I like this one the most, is I think this is the best done of them. Some of those, some units, this rifleman pose or the shooty man pose, whatever you want to call it, it's not as well done. He's, like the old rebel one, he's like way too close on his cheek. Some of the others, they're a little too far away. I think this guy's pretty well done, and he also is pretty striking within the Phase 2 unit with how there's other guys crouching and stuff like that. So huge fan of this one at number 10. Number 9 coming in at the Pathfinder leader. I had to pick up the Pathfinders. Actually, a lot of really cool sculpts in the Pathfinders. I do want to do a kind of a little disclaimer note. You're going to see there's not a lot of Rebel units in here. And I think part of that is because a lot of the Rebel units with like the big names and stuff came with the old type of plastic. Now, the Pathfinders are the old type of plastic. But this one works. I really just like this guy. He's leading his people into battle. It's kind of a pseudo-static pose. I really like this. This is the guy I was most excited about painting out of that whole box, and I was very excited about painting that box. Next up is the Inferno Squad Commander. Now this is, or I should say leader, because this is supposed to be kind of Iden, right? Now obviously Iden is her own unit, also a fantastic sculpt. But I really just like the way this is very clearly the leader pose. It's like I'm in front, I'm telling you what to do. I really like it. There's a couple options. Obviously, I did mine without the chest plate, the pilot breather apparatus. I did mine without that. It doesn't come with a head option because I think, again, this is supposed to be the generic leader, but it's also kind of supposed to serve that purpose as being Iden in Inferno Squad. But again, I really like this sculpt. It paints up really well. You can see with the contrast I did on it that the highlights come out really well. So really, really cool unit. Very, very easy to paint. Great looking unit. Next up is the leader from the Imperial Death Troopers unit expansion. I really like how this guy has his rifle slung over. He's got his pistol out, kind of evaluating the battlefield. Just a really cool static pose. These guys also are really cool to paint because they're all black, but there's obviously a lot of work that has to go into that. And then you get the nice green, right? He's got the green on his little sight. He's got the green down on his breathers. And I used like a green fluorescent paint. It really makes them pop against all the black. It's really, really, really cool. So great sculpt here. I really just like this whole unit in general is pretty good, but I really like this unit in that, this model in that unit. All right, next up is Grievous. Now, unfortunately, Grievous is from the core set. That's the only way to get him. And he's got a couple different options to build him. My personal favorite is the 4 sabers build. You can see here I kind of made him attacking the 2 at the top. You have quite a bit of flexibility in terms of how you can get the angles of the sabers and stuff like that. And this guy he's really tall. He's a very big model on the battlefield. He looks really good. And not really much more else to say on this one. I just really like him. The eyes paint up really well. You can do a wash on him and you get all the parts to come out. And it's really, really good model. Really, really favorite of mine. Next up, we have Del Meeko from the Inferno Squad unit expansion. Notice that's the second sculpt on here I have of that. Very, very cool box to pick up. Also pretty fun to use Inferno Squad. I really like the pose on this because it's not necessarily like a static shooting, but he's got his big old sniper gun. It sticks out way over the base and it makes it look like a real nice model on the table. His face is really well done. His hair is really well done. Again, most of this was done with contrast paints. It comes out very, very, very well with just all the folds and the creases, the way it all fits together. It's a really striking piece on the table, very easy to paint up. You also have the helmet option there. You can say I put the helmet in front, but you can put the helmet on him. You can put his breather on him, not on him. Lots of options there, and it looks very, very good. The rifle also has a lot of little details that you can paint. Very cool, striking sculpt. I love me the Magna Guards unit expansion, not only in-game, but also they're very cool units, very fun to paint. The contrast between the metal and then the cape, super fun to paint, and then you can put bright stuff on there. And this guy is my favorite of the bunch. Everything about this I love. You can see for the cape, he's kind of popping back into that ready pose. The cape is flowing. He's ready to bring the fight to the Jedi or whichever clone he's attacking. Really, really love this model. It's really well done. You also see he has the tactical rock in back. He's actually stepping on a gun, which you can paint up. Kind of helps it blend in a little more. All in all, very fun, cool unit. Coming in at number 3 for me, and this was a really hard one to put at number 3 and not higher, is Bossk. So not only is Bossk a very cool model in him itself, he is a dream, absolute dream to paint with his scales, the way everything gets in there. You can do a lot of cool stuff with the scales. He has great contrast between the yellow, and again, and that's if you paint him canon, he has great contrast between the yellow and the white and the black on his armor of the metal pieces around his flight suit. His eyes, everything about this model I love. And not only is it a cool model, not only do you have multiple variations, but it is an absolute dream to paint. You should just pick up this model if you love painting. Fantastic, awesome model, and it's even in the soft plastic. In the number 2 slot is one of my absolute personal favorites. This is the Clone Comms Technician from the Republic Personnel expansion. So 4 units in that one. They're all really cool units, but this guy in this particular pose, I really just love it. There is another pose where he actually just has kind of the gun across his belt, which is also really cool, but everything about this guy, just when he's on the table, he's got his arm up, he's got his arm out, calling in an airstrike. You can see the antenna behind him. Super cool. I really just, fantastic model. Again, he's just a clone. He paints up the same as the other clones for the most part, but just this particular sculpt, I don't know, for whatever reason, I love it. And my number 1 model right now, that's right, my number 1 model currently out right now for Star Wars Legion is the Come and Get It Wookiee from the Republic Wookiees expansion, or the new Wookiees expansion. Now, full disclaimer, this is a completely awesome box. These guys are also a dream to paint, kind of the same as Bossk with their fur. Stuff gets in there. A lot of detail on them, a couple different ways to build them. Battle Shield Wookiee's cool, but this guy is awesome. I just love the way he's doing everything you think a Wookiee should do, which is basically roaring at you, trying to intimidate you, saying, come and get it. Let's do this, baby. Completely awesome sculpt. It's huge on the table. I don't know. Can't say enough good things about this one. I just love the sculpt. I love putting them together. I love painting them. Everything about it. So there you have it, folks. There are my top 10. Let me know what you like. Do you agree with my picks? Do you disagree with my picks? What are your picks? Let me know. What units do you like? What units do you dislike? Were there any that you thought you were going to like and you ended up hating because you spent too much time painting it? They were too hard to paint. That's completely fair. So anyway, folks, thanks for joining me today. Keep rolling crits and go Commando.